Hello everybody, Raxel1447 here, and yes, I am back already. I felt that this issue was a little bit too pressing for me to ignore for the time being, so let's just delve right into it. I mentioned earlier that while on Facebook earlier today, I discovered that Disney and Hasbro were having some serious conversations about buying Hasbro. This upsetted me greatly. This 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 seriously greatly upsetted me. Um I grew up in the 90s. I was born in 1995, and at that point, if I recall correctly, the Disney Renaissance was in the middle and possibly ending. There were several great shows on, I forgot exactly what it was called, but there's several great shows on TV. There were shows that were spin-offs of the movies, like The Little Mermaid, Timon and Pumbaa for The Lion King, Aladdin the series, Hercules the series, and then you had shows like Gargoyles, and you had House of Mouse, which was one of my all-time favorites. You had Darkwing Duck, Tailspin, DuckTales, all of those. And the little kid shows that showed early in the morning weren't half bad either. In fact, even I wanted to watch them at the tender age of 10. So, Disney has obviously been a big part of my life. And it kind of shaped me into being the animation buff that I am today. And I, as much as everybody else, most likely miss Disney's animated movies so much. I mean, I miss them a lot. I don't care if it's just a crappy sequel. I really do miss the Disney movies a lot. The animated ones. There were the handful of the live action ones I wouldn't mind seeing, but I grew up with the animated ones, and I really truly miss them. So, over the past several years, Disney has been doing a lot of shopping. And now they're practically an empire. They own a lot of stuff, and I'm just going to name a few. They own everything with ABC, ABC News, Family, ABC News Now. They own everything with ESPN, Kids ESPN, Sports, Classic ESPN. They own Marvel. They own Lifetime. They own Touchstone. They own Miramax. They own Pixar, which I believe for that to be false, but I don't know. We'll see. And when I was young, they took over a channel named Jetix, which is one of the best channels ever, and instead replaced it with a semi-decent Disney XD, meaning that Disney can produce some decent shows, but not enough. And most recently, they just acquired Lucasfilm, and Star Wars Episodes 7, 8, and 9 have been given the green light and are starting production and will probably be released in 2015. That's what I heard. So, with them having talk of buying Hasbro kind of got me a little bit upset, because it's kind of thinking to me, Disney's becoming too much of an empire. They're wanting to buy everything. And I mean everything. So, I found an article about this issue, and I'm going to read it. Okay, folks, take this one with a grain of plastic for the time being. Unless you've been under a rock, you've heard that Disney acquired Lucasfilm for roughly $4 billion last week, and Marvel for around the same price a few years prior. Yeah, we all remember that. Well, we have it on good authority that serious discussions are happening at the highest levels of both Disney and Hasbro to fold the largest toy and game company on the planet into the mouse. From what we're told, these are still just discussions at this point, but serious enough that something could be announced at any time and create ripples throughout the entertainment industry. The Lucasfilm acquisition has been reported as taking as few as 6 months to complete. On the other hand, Disney Chairman and CEO Bob Iger, a name that will forever burn with hatred in my mind, has until 2015 on his current contract and has waited about 3 years in between the acquisitions of Marvel and Lucasfilm, so we may be without firm news for this for some time. The acquisition would give Disney the rights to Transformers, G.I. Joe, Dungeons & Dragons, Beyblade, Battleship, Nerf, and Magic the Gathering, among several other game titles and IP. When you add Marvel and Star Wars to the list, that's a pretty comprehensive lock on boys' entertainment, a far cry from a few years back when Disney was heavily criticized for losing its grip on boys. We'll speak about this later. Hasbro holds the toy and tabletop game license to the now Disney-owned Star Wars and Marvel, and has been shown great success with those franchises, as well as exploiting their own IP across film, television, and games. We've already seen some cross-pollination with Star Wars, Transformers, and Monopoly, and Hasbro isn't shy from M&A, having scooped up Parker Brothers, Kenner, Tonka, Milton Bradley, and Wizards of the Coast over the years. So from an outsider's perspective, this makes a ton of sense for all involved. So if it turns out to be true, what will it mean for these franchises and their homes, and what will it mean for the Hub and the Hasbro Discovery JV cable net? The Transformers and G.I. Joe's films are with Paramount, but as we saw with Marvel, that could easily change. The animated series are with the Hub, along with Beyblade, Kajito, and others, and it's not clear how that channel will fit into Disney's plans. They could be folded into Disney XD, and the girls' brands folded into the Disney Channel. Oh, fuck. Later. On the comic side, this would be bad news for IDW, just as the Marvel acquisition was for Boom, and the Lucasfilm acquisition is likely to be for Dark Horse. But here's hoping to a Marvel vs. Star Wars vs. Transformers vs. G.I. Joe vs. D&D vs. Brony's video game. So yeah, this means Disney would also own My Little Pony, and there would be plenty of crossover material there too. So let's break this down piece by piece, and I'll try to do this as best as I can, because I have no experience in this field whatsoever, and I may get a lot of stuff wrong, so please don't hate. Haters gonna hate, but does it look like I give a fuck? Whatever. Okay, let us start. To be honest, I don't know where to start. I'm gonna start with what will it mean for the Hub? For the Hub specifically. And yes, before I mention this, I only care because Disney would have the rights to My Little Pony, but I'll explain why I'm so concerned about that. It's been noted that Disney has been acquiring a lot of boys' products. Now, for the longest time, Disney was all about, when it was first starting out, the animated stuff was all about princesses and castles and princes and true beauty comes from within and all that nice stuff and whatnot. And now with Disney Channel and this girl-infested, not even decent girl-infested crap that's on the Disney Channel, then yeah, I would agree with the fact that Disney has certainly lost touch of their boys' audience. So maybe this would be a smart move for Disney on a gender role basis, because then they have Star Wars now, and they have Marvel. They've had Marvel, and they're gonna have Transformers and G.I. Joe, possibly the two biggest names in boy toy industry. Not you know what I mean. So this could be a smart move for Disney on a gender role basis. However, Hasbro has revived and revamped some shows that aren't really for boys. I can think of one more besides for My Little Pony. I can think of Strawberry Shortcake. I've heard that Hasbro has revamped and revived Strawberry Shortcake, and it's now on the Hub. I used to be a big fan of Strawberry Shortcake. I had a Strawberry Shortcake doll that actually smelled like strawberries. It was like the best thing ever. But, moving on. So, it's mentioned that they're not sure how the Hub and the animated shows could fit to Disney's plans. Now, as I mentioned, they could be folded into Disney XD. How do I feel about this? Well, Disney XD isn't that bad. I like Kick Buttowski. That's a good show. And I've taken a liking to Phineas and Ferb. That's a good show. Parrot Kings, not so much. But that's for the boys' brands. The girls' brands, and I quote, they could be folded into Disney XD, and the girls' brands could be folded into Disney Channel. I know right off the bat they're going to consider My Little Pony a complete and utter girls' show, and guess where it's going to end up? It's going to end up on the shitty-ass Disney Channel. I do not want a show that's suffered so much over the years, that's had a great revival and a huge fan base standing behind it, for it to go on that POS show. It doesn't deserve it. And then what happens when new seasons and new episodes come out? Huh? What's going to happen then? What's going to happen then? Is Disney going to be in charge of the? Is Disney going to be in charge of what gets put in an episode? Are they going to fire the current well-trained staff of animations and stories? And are they going to hire a new crew? And most importantly, the thing I'm most concerned about: what are they going to do about the fan base? As many bronies have known and learned, as I have learned by being a brony, the Hub and Hasbro in general has been very, very generous to the bronies. Not all of us have the Hub. I don't have the Hub. Not all of us have Netflix. I have Netflix, but I have a pretty good feeling that Season 3 is not going to be on Netflix until the season is over and completed. I might be wrong, but that's generally how it works. Now, I can't even find a decent Disney movie on Netflix. I can't find a decent Disney movie on Netflix, and I can't even find them decently on YouTube anymore. And there used to be tons of old school Disney cartoons, and there's still some of the Goofy shorts, at least there's still some of the old House and Mouse episodes, but there used to be tons of Disney movies on YouTube that YouTubers were able to upload and watch. And I remember coming home from school and I would watch movies like Pinocchio and Dumbo, and I'd gain a new appreciation for those movies even if I didn't like them before. Now I'm like, oh my god, I never realized how great this movie is. And now they've stopped that. So I know for a fact that if Disney gets their hands on My Little Pony, it's going to end badly. They're going to cut off internet access. They might even be able to put a stop to brony music and brony literature and possibly brony art. And this could also tie in with SOPA. If SOPA gets passed, which I haven't heard any news about it, and I was going to do a rant on it, but I decided I wasn't knowledgeable enough to do it, and I honestly didn't feel like doing the research because I don't like delving into political shit anyway. But it kind of ties in with SOPA, and if SOPA gets passed, then we're really fucked. Then we are really going to be fucked. So, personally, I am very apprehensive and not too excited about that. And plus, I'm disappointed in Disney itself. Disney already owns all the stuff that I mentioned earlier. Is there really a need to own every single goddamn thing on the market? Is that really a necessity? If there's something that you like on the market and then you're like a little kid in a toy store lately, oh my god, I want to buy this. Is that really necessary? Does that really need to happen for you guys? And I mean, these are, and in the case of Marvel and Lucasfilm and possibly even Hasbro, they're getting ready to sign their life's work and their life's creations, for most of them, over to Disney. And for what? Will they be able to see them again? Will they be able to use them again? Will Disney take good care of them? Yeah, I am speaking to it like they're real things, because it probably is. Now, granted, of course, Disney could probably get their act together and keep things the way they are. They could probably keep Studio B together and just say here, and could probably just say here, just keep doing what you're doing, and could leave the Hub alone, and could leave everything else alone, and, could do the little nitpicking here and there, and they might even be able to pay Lauren Faust to come back on the development team. I don't know, okay? Lauren Faust is still a god. I don't know, but it could happen, but I'm not overly confident that it will. But I really don't see a need for Disney to keep buying everything. I mean, are they really that creatively dead to have to rely on buying Hasbro and Marvel in order to regain their attentions to their boy audience? Is that really necessary? Is that necessary? Is that really necessary? I honestly don't think it is. I mean, it might take them a while. It might take them some creative thinking, but it could work. I don't know what to think about this right now, but I'm not exactly happy about this. So, I went on the Disney website and I found an email and I wrote precisely this email. No, I haven't sent it yet, but I'm considering sending it, and it goes something like this. To the respected CEO of the Walt Disney Company, you have done a lot of shopping over the past several years. ABC Network, Marvel, ESPN, Jim Henson Company, and most recently Lucasfilms. I've heard a rumor that you have your eyes set on Hasbro next. 'Tis just a rumor floating around the internet, but one that upsets me greatly. I can't read. Do you all feel the need to buy everything on the market? If it's something nice and pretty and shiny that you don't have, do you really feel the need to buy it and have it? To be honest, I'm highly concerned about this course of action. Not every company on the market needs to be up under your thumb. The main reason I am concerned is that you will lower the quality of the shows that Hasbro have worked so hard to revamp and revive. If I may, your Disney shows on the Disney Channel, for example, are notoriously bad and teach absolutely nothing. You see, My Little Pony teaches lessons that could apply to young kids and grown-ups as well. Your company has gone down majority in the quality over the past several years, and quite frankly, as a child who was brought up on Disney dreams made with paper and ink, I am very disappointed. Where are your cartoons? Where are your princesses? Seriously, where are the princesses? I don't see them unless they're advertising some new toy, and that's all I ever see them in. We don't get to see them at all. Where are your addicting happy songs? Where are those things? That was Walt's dream. But this mind-numbing programming, it needs to stop, and I'm concerned that you'll send some of Hasbro's most successful shows, i.e. My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, spiraling back where they started. Shows that were only good for making toys and not much else. Please, the next time you want to feed your growing and very greedy empire, think before making your clients sign a contract selling over the life's work and creations to you all, as my confidence that you'll take quote-unquote good care of these studios and shows that have a lot of promise is very, very low. Have a good day. I don't think I'll send it, but I just might. But, really, Disney? There's no need to buy everything on the market. At this point, you guys are just being greedy and grubby, and that's not the Disney I grew up with. I barely see anything with the original Disney anymore. The only thing I see is I'm sorry, guys. But however you want to think about this is how you want to think about this. It's your opinion entirely. You guys could see this as a good move. If you guys see this as a good move, go ahead and please tell me why. But this also raises up another question. Something that is making me a little bit hopeful, but at the same time resentful. If Disney owns My Little Pony, does this mean that My Little Pony get to appear in Kingdom Hearts? Best crossover ever? I don't know, but you know what? Fans have already done it, so that could really be awesome. I'm Raxel1447, and what happened to Disney? What happened? Good night.